The spread is 7, and I watched and listened to the show last night, and that you were on, Chaz, and everybody's scared of the 7 points. What I will say about the game is I dug up some numbers, and if you take the Super Bowls out of the equation, and you look at the Chiefs and what they've done in the last just in the last 3 years worth of playoff runs. Look at the second quarter. They're averaging 17 points in the second quarter over their just in between the last 3 seasons when they won the Super Bowl in Tampa and last year when they lost it. Um, the Super Bowls themselves, they only scored 3 points in the second quarter. But the games that the Chiefs actually don't put up a big second quarter, or they don't score first. The Chiefs typically let the other team score first. That's even more interesting. If you're looking at live action, the other team scores first, the Chiefs win the game. There has only been 3 games where the other team scored first in the last 3 seasons of the Chiefs playoff run. The Browns, they smoked them. They ended up smoking the Browns. But then Tampa and New England, the Chiefs actually scored first in those games and ended up losing. But look, I'm looking at second quarters. I'm looking at the teams to kind of feel each other out. Maybe a 7-7 first quarter, maybe a 3-3 or a 7-3, something around there. But I'm looking at the Chiefs' second quarter. Right now, it's over 16.5. So statistics show that the Chiefs are going to put up 17 in the second quarter. You got to think Joey Burrow is going to, even though he thinks that the SEC is louder than Arrowhead, you got to think that he's going to put up some type of points in the second quarter. So my play on this game is over 16.5 for the second quarter. And if you're watching it live, I'm probably going to beat Bovada by about 15 seconds. One would think that if it's a competitive first quarter, that second quarter is going to drop to, say, 14.5, 15.5, and you may be able to catch some odds. But my play right now in the game, I'm not looking at the 7, although I think the Chiefs will win and cover the 7. My actual investment is going to be over 16.5 for the second quarter because the statistics show that the Chiefs do that on their own.
Well, here's the thing with when you do so I do the spreadsheet for the first touchdown. And the way I do it is I take all 4 teams and I say, okay, who was their top 2 rushers and who were their best receivers and what did they have for the year? Then I start going backwards. Do you realize in the last 3 games, the last week of the season, the wild card game and the division game, Cincinnati's only scored 5 touchdowns in 3 games. Mahomes did that last week alone. Of course, I don't know what he was, but he was the first one, right? Mahomes scored the first touchdown of the game for the Chiefs. Didn't he last week?
Yep. Yeah, he put it in the pylon.
Yeah, so I do both. What I do is I do first player to score for the game, and I also have them both first player to score for their team. And so if I catch the first one, I catch them both. You know?
Yep.
So we'll see. And then there's the anytime touchdowns. The anytime touchdowns, when you got the Chiefs, you could do a 3-team parlay. Does your website let you do a 3-team parlay on anytime touchdowns?
Yeah, it's a prop. It's a prop builder.
Yeah,
you have to build it as props.
Yeah.
And the one I'll throw out there, if we're talking about anytime scorers, Mecole Hardman is plus 500. Depending on where you look, Hardman gets a lot of touches. The Chiefs are not giving looks to Robinson very much anymore. Josh Gordon is not really a part of this starting lineup. Hardman's getting a lot of touches in odd spots, and so there's value there.
Well, what I look at, I also look at, and then we'll ask John what his opinions are. I look at who are they going to try to stop. So, Kelsey, yeah, anytime touchdown, yes. But I'm probably not going to pick Kelsey for the first down touchdown because he's going to be double covered. So who's going to be left open, that kind of thing. Now, Hill's a whole nother story. But Hill could score from the bathroom. If the ball, if the guy,
anywhere.
Now listen, here's my scenario. Bad punt, shaked out of bounds, rolls into the tent where Hill was in there just changing his pants or something. He could go the length of the field from there because he's just so damn fast.